Welcome back, America. My guest to wrap up today's show is Chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, Representative Patrick McHenry. Representative McHenry, welcome back. How are you?
Great to be with you, Hugh.
My first question is pretty direct. The FDIC insures deposits up to $250,000, but evidently there are some banks that have a better guarantee. What is the rule? Whose money is actually insured for more than $250,000?
Uncertain, unclear. What the administration attempted to do in that first weekend after Silicon Valley Bank failed was to reassure depositors that your deposits are safe. Yes, it's very clear that under the insured deposit level, all deposits are safe. We've not lost a penny of that in the last 90 years. Over the deposit level, well, it looks like we have three different standards. Too big to fail banks, top five banks. Those that were affected in the bank failures, the three banks that have failed, the three of the 30 largest banks in America that failed. And then another class of banks where we're not sure. I think a lack of clarity here is a real blow against financial stability, and it's really a not smart policy for this administration.
How do we, that is exactly, I have no idea if my money's safe. I have no idea because if it's a bank is going down, I know it's safe to 250,000, but I have no idea which banks are going to go down. And I don't know when the FDIC and the Fed will step in. Do you, are there secret conversations underway that people know and don't know?
Very few secrets in this. I mean, what they were attempting to do is tell everybody to be stable, be fine, and let this thing go. No one is talking about the root cause of this. And the root cause of these three bank failures is inflation. The inflation that started out of federal spending by this administration, and the poor economic management of this administration. So we're dealing with the symptoms. We're not dealing with the disease. And the disease here is quite nefarious for everyone who spends a dollar in America.
Well, it's also a disease of ambiguity. I honestly, Chairman, I don't know what the rules are. If I'm a lawyer to a bank right now, I don't know what to tell them. What do you think bank lawyers are telling their clients?
Oh, it's a complete mess. And I want people to have clear rules and clear mode of operating. That's been our gift as a country. We have legal clarity, and so people know that they're going to be treated fairly under the law. That is what we assume as a country. And right now, that lack of clarity is really harmful.
When Silicon Valley Bank went down, Mr. Chairman, Roku, and I just used them as the example because the one that sticks out, had $500 million on deposit. $500 million in one bank. And they didn't suffer any penalty for that. That is at least, 2 strikes and you're out for the chief financial officer and the controller of Roku. But what do you think of that? If we're not going to enforce it, I can't blame them.
Well, look, this goes back. The challenge here is there's an assumption going back to the financial crisis that the big banks get bailed out and everybody else is left holding the bag. We have to make it clear that we're going to allow for failure in our economic system. And allowing for failure means that you can actually have capitalism, you can have freedom. But without that failure and the consequences of that failure, meaning your stock holdings go to zero, executives feel the consequences of the failure that they presided over or enabled, then we're going to have more bad economic decision making.
Let me go to what the former president said last night, that a default on the debt would be more psychological than anything else. Do you agree with that?
Oh, it's going to be psychological, all right, but it's also going to have severe consequences.
Yeah, when people look up and the markets have dropped 25%, that's going to be a psychological knock.
Well, look, when the rest of the world's trying to de-dollarize, get their transactions out of U.S. currency, because of Russian sanctions and our sanctions regime in part and a number of different reasons, we don't want to give them further reason to take their holdings out of dollars. We get huge economic benefit by the world transacting.
Lost another congressman. They really do not know how to stay on the line. That's Tom Emmers and Patrick McHenry. And I know what they're doing. They're walking outside of Congress. He's back. Chairman McHenry, you're back. Continue on with that, please.
Welcome back. Beauty of the cell coverage here in
yes.
Washington, D.C. No, with the rest of the world trying to use different currencies other than the U.S. dollar to do international trade, we should not enhance their ability to do that by defaulting on the full faith and credit of the United States. It's not smart economic management, and we shouldn't be playing games with it. We should address our fiscal house, pare spending down, assess our long-term spending challenges as a country, and make that clear to the American people, and at the same time put growth policies in place so that we can live in a more prosperous America for everyone.
Last question, Chairman. We got 30 seconds. Is the Biden administration negotiating seriously right now?
No.
Wow. I just can't believe some days what goes on in this country when we're on the cliff and dancing. Patrick McHenry is not one of those people who believes in brinksmanship. He's great to have his chair of financial services in this period of time. Keep coming back, Mr. Chairman. Don't